He had long hair. He wore tight leather pants. The women swooned over him. He was arguably the first rock star. Did he sell his soul? Let me repeat that for the folks over here that I didn't even have the camera on. He wore leather pants. He had long hair. The women swooned over him. He was the first rock star. Did he sell his soul? Who are you talking about, Jeff? Well, first of all, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Welcome to the Gospel Truth Channel. I spent 20 years as a Christian minister. I'm a Bible college graduate, and I have over 100,000 hours of study in the biblical scriptures. And I started this channel, ladies and gentlemen, because I am bringing aloha to you in Hawaii. I'm bringing to you information that I believe proves without a doubt that Christianity has been co-opted, the message of the Christ. It is a fear and guilt control matrix, and you are most likely suffering from acute Stockholm syndrome. Acute Stockholm syndrome. Someone's trying to free you, and you are fighting on behalf of your captors against the one that wants to make you free. Have I become your enemy? Because I tell you the truth. We're going to talk about the first rock star, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to talk about whether or not he sold his soul. Who do you think was the first rock star? Who do you think was the first rock star? I'll guarantee you that you didn't think of this guy, but he really was the first rock star. Niccolo Paganini. That's right. Niccolo Paganini was the first rock star. He was born in Genoa, Italy on October 27th, 1782. His mother had her heart set on him becoming a famous violinist. And from this, a rumor later arose that she, in fact, had made a deal with the devil, trading her son's soul for the chance to become the greatest violinist in history. He was a violinist. Somebody's asking, what did he play? He was a violinist. He played the violin. And at the height of his fame and fortune, he was the greatest violinist to ever live. He was the toast and the bane of Europe, a musical genius, a musical god, the devil's minion. His virtuosity, appearance, and bearing had some believing his skill could only have come after making a pact with the devil. So did Paganini make a pact with the devil? Did the first rock star sell his soul? I don't know, but there is some compelling evidence. So let's take a look at it. Niccolo Paganini, did the first rock star sell his soul? He's called the devil's violinist. And I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Here's a picture of him. And he was known to wear tight leather pants. He did have the long hair. He was kind of the prototypical rock star. But let's see what else we can learn about this man. He began training on the mandolin, which is kind of like a little bit of guitar, I think, at the age of 5. By 7, ladies and gentlemen, he was playing the violin, which is remarkable in itself. Had his first public performance at age 11 in Genoa. By age 13, he went to study with the famous violinist and teacher Alessandro Rolla. When he arrived, Rolla reportedly decided that Paganini's skills were such that there was nothing he could do to teach him. 11-year-old kid, 13-year-old kid, goes to the preeminent violin teacher of the day. Violin teacher says, sorry, nothing I can teach this kid. That's pretty remarkable. That's pretty remarkable. Instead, he referred to him as his own teacher. And again, because of his abilities, after a short period, he was passed off to another teacher. And then at the age of 15, he began playing solo tours. And here's where it gets really interesting. 15 years old, keep in mind, playing solo tours. And he really did have sex, drugs, and rock and roll, or sex, drugs, and whatever you call violin music. He was living hard. He was living fast. And before the time he was 16, ladies and gentlemen, times were different. He had a breakdown and succumbed to alcoholism. Oh, that's interesting. Someone over on Twitter, Andre C. 1598, references the Charlie Daniels song. The devil went down to Georgia looking for a soul to steal. He was way behind. He was in a bind. He was willing to make a deal. And the devil played a violin. Very interesting. Very good catch. Throughout his lifetime, he was a heavy gambler, a heavy drinker, and a shameless womanizer. Like I said, he was the first rock star. Tight leather pants, long hair, gambler, drinker, shameless womanizer, rock star. He did recover, did a stint as the court violinist for Princess Elisa, who was, by the way, Napoleon's sister. He once again went off on another tour. He was the first violinist to publicly perform without sheet music, memorized all the works. He flailed about the stage, contorting his body, dancing, and his exceptionally long and thin fingers played the instrument, earning him the nickname Rubber Man. So he was kind of like Elvis with a violin. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know how you say that in Italian, but he was like Elvis with a violin. Very, very interesting. He also popularized many violin techniques that are common today. He bounced the bow on his strings. He plucked the strings with his left hand. He even purposely mistuned the strings. When it made a particular piece easier to play, he also heavily experimented with using harmonics in his music. He himself was tall, very thin, hollow cheeks, very long fingers, pale skin, flaming eyes, thin lips with a sardonic smile, dressing in black for all his performances. The violin had long been considered the devil's instrument. A fan at a concert in Vienna claimed he saw the devil helping Paganini play. Others said that they saw demons crossing a bridge in the sky to come and hear Paganini play. By 1834, he was diagnosed with tuberculosis and recovered, which never happened. That in itself might be the greatest clue, cause the greatest suspicion that the man had to deal with the devil, because you cannot recover from tuberculosis in 1834, ladies and gentlemen. Recovered from tuberculosis, lost the stamina finally to play, retired from public performances, in increasingly poor health. He spent his last years teaching, and he taught the famous Polish violinist Apolinary Dykonsky. I think I pronounced his name right. He ultimately died in Nice, France, May 27, 1840. But wait, there's more, because his death only fanned the flames, pun intended, of his supposed pact with the devil. Shortly before his death, he turned away a priest who had come to perform the last rites. I say good on you, Paganini. Good for you, Paganini. But he turned away a priest who had come to give him his last rites. And that's awesome. The local church refused to bury his body on consecrated ground, despite him being a member of the Order of the Golden Spur and having been granted that honor by Pope Leo XII. Well, whatever the rumors, after 4 years, Pope Gregory did allow his body to be transported to Genoa, and he was ultimately laid to rest in La Valletta Cemetery in Parma, Italy, about 200 kilometers from his birthplace of Genoa, where he remains unto this day. Was the first rock star a person who sold his soul to the devil? Lots of interesting speculation, lots of interesting facts. I'll leave it to you to decide for yourself. Did the first rock star, Niccolo Paganini, sell his soul for rock and roll? Did he sell his soul to the devil? I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, encouraging you to ask questions, question answers, and unindoctrinate yourself.